When arguing against the opponent's position, it's important that your arguments actually address that position. An argument against a different position is irrelevant and thus a red herring. An argument against a different but superficially similar position is a special case of red herring called a straw man. A straw man is a misrepresentation, and while it can be due to an honest misunderstanding, it's very often intentional, a dishonest tactic used to convince the audience that you won the debate by refuting your opponent's position, when in fact you refuted a different position, typically an easily refuted caricature of your opponent's position. The name is derived from the use of military training dummies or other effigies made of straw. It's a lot easier to chop up a dummy that resembles your enemy than to actually fight the enemy. Let's have a look at some examples. First off is the infamous crocoduck. According to Kirk Cameron, the theory of evolution predicts the existence of ridiculous hybrids like this. The fact that we don't see anything like that strongly suggests that the theory is incorrect. Well, yes, the theory he's arguing against would be in trouble if there were no such hybrids, but evolution doesn't suggest that ducks evolved into crocodiles or vice versa. It suggests that they share a common ancestor. A lot of arguments creationists present against evolution are actually arguments against a straw man version of it. Evolution doesn't say that dogs give birth to cats, that all monkeys magically transformed into humans one day and that as a result of that there are no monkeys anymore, that all things must constantly change, much less that this constant change must be toward getting bigger and stronger, that the first human didn't have eyes, or that there was a single identifiable first human for that matter, or that evolution promotes racism, to name just a few things creationists claim it says. Any strawmen from our old buddy Winston Wu? Well, duh. How about this one? Skeptics dismiss claims of the paranormal because, quote, since paranormal phenomena is impossible, those who claim to have them must be mistaken, lying, or hallucinating, unquote. This is a blatant misrepresentation of skepticism. The reason skeptics dismiss claims that are not supported by evidence isn't that they have deemed them impossible beforehand, but that, and try to follow the logic here, that they are not supported by evidence. Skeptics only accept claims that are supported by evidence. In the same context, he also says that skeptics, quote, prefer a false explanation over a paranormal one, unquote. No, a skeptic is someone who's looking for the truth. No skeptic would knowingly accept a false explanation. Wu's entire treatise is essentially one big fat strawman argument portraying skepticism as the position of blindly adhering to a rigid set of dogmatic beliefs, when in reality a skeptic is someone who bases their beliefs on what can be shown to be true, or at least likely true. The most frequent use of the strawman fallacy we see from Wu is replacing "I am not convinced that A is true" with "A is false." Arguing against one position is not the same as arguing for or even accepting its negation. It's easy to point out that the opposition has failed to prove that A is false when they aren't even trying to do that. They're arguing that the case for A being true has not been made and that as such A should not be accepted as true, at least not for the time being. Of course, strawman fallacies are also common in politics, and when discussing social issues. When any so-called social justice issue is being discussed online, just count the strawman. When discussing emotionally charged issues, people seem to want to misrepresent the opposition. Maybe it's a subconscious thing, I don't know. Winning becomes more important than arguing honestly. I'm with Spock on this one. Emotions make people illogical. On that note, stay logical.